Welcome to I Don't Get It, the pop culture Get Off My Lawn cast. This show features the open-minded musings of two early 50s curmudgeons staring at the prospect, the chilling prospect of entertainment irrelevance. I'm
not sure it's chilling, Bill. Sometimes it keeps me warm at night.
Okay.
Freeing myself of this high-pressure world of
the yoke of relevance. Yes,
the yoke of relevance. I am free of it. I am untethered.
What is it? It's like the albatross of relevance around your neck, like Coleridge's Ancient Mariner. It's just this horrible lodestone.
That's from the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, right?
Yes.
The albatross around your neck, that metaphor? Okay,
yes.
Good.
Yeah.
I know I learned that in high school, but like many things, I've forgotten.
That's true. And this show is here to buff up your soft spots on Samuel Taylor Coleridge more than anything else.
Yes, buff up my soft spots. I Don't Get It, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Good memory there, remembering who wrote that damn poem.
Yeah, that's, one of the last things I read. That's probably one of the last things I read in my life, actually, before I stopped reading entirely.
When was that? When did you stop reading?
Was that 93, 92, something like that?
I had a friend in college who claimed he didn't read, and this is a pretty good college, and obviously you had to read a lot for class. But like anytime he brought up reading, he's like, yeah, I don't read. He was just like, that's just not a hobby of mine. I don't read. I watch movies, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So our joke was that he couldn't read and that somehow he was scamming to get a degree from a prestigious liberal arts school, being completely illiterate.
Like I didn't go to a prestigious liberal arts school, but I think I have mentioned on this podcast that I did not read. Also, where I can get out of it, I understood that the college English classes, all levels of them, were essentially very instructional. That if I sat through them, the books were always explained to me nut and bolt and, down to the line with the themes and what.
So you wouldn't do the reading for the class. You just hope you could skate by.
And I did. And I wrote incredible term papers, well-received term papers.
Having not read the book.
Having not read the book. I did this many years in a row. Yeah.
You people piss me off. Like you and my dad. My dad never went to class in college and then ended up
I went to class. I went to all successful. The classes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But my dad never did any work. And I still remember the myth in my family was that he never did any work in college. He was just gambling and hanging out with his frat buddies. And then he buckled down at law school, and that's how he became a success. And I mentioned that to him once. He's like, no, I didn't do any work in law school either.
That's such baby.
What an example you set, Mr. Baby Boomer.
What fucking boomer bullshit. Anyway, my name is Bill Scurry. I'm the founder and proprietor of America Caesar Enterprises, which is a French clown school in Lyon, which teaches only the Pierrot form of the obscure performing art. That's it. Just the one clowning form.
I haven't heard of that. Pierrot is a form. What are the qualities of the Perot form of clowning?
That's a good question. We haven't.
You don't even know.
I don't even know. Yeah.
So you run a school that teaches it, and you don't know. Well, getting back to the theme of you.
No, that's true.
You fake your way through education.
Fake it till I break it into many pieces. Yeah. No, there. I know that the Pierrot form. What is it? The Pierrot was the diminutive Italian for Pierre.
Okay, Pierre.
Yeah,
that would make
something.
sense.
So I forget Pierrot. What are the qualities of Pierrot? I could not tell you.
What characteristics? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, speaking of French clowns, I was once. I had a teacher once, an acting teacher who had been a student of Marcel Marceau. And I was once talking to her, and she literally referred to speaking to Marcel Marceau on the telephone, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous.
And I'm like, really? You spoke to Marcel Marceau on the telephone?
How did that go? Was it, yeah.
Well, apparently the guy, was able to speak. And then, of course, there's that Mel Brooks movie where...
Yeah. Silent movie where, yes, good. Spill the beans. Tell
All right, so Mel Brooks, I'm sure many of you know, he had a movie, early 80s? Silent movie?
I think it was 80 or 81, maybe, something like that.
Okay, so it's a comedy. It's in black and white, right? I saw it eons ago.
That's a good question. I think I saw it too, but I can't remember.
Yeah. And the only line of dialogue in the whole movie is Marcel Marceau, who was a hugely famous French mime, literally mime. So he probably wouldn't call himself a clown. There is a distinction. The only audible line in the whole movie is Marcel Marceau saying no.
Yeah. Right.
And I believe he says it on the phone.
I believe.
Am I wrong?
No, I believe that's correct. Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. There's your joke. But yeah, I had a teacher who had been a protege, a student of Marcel Marceau, and she made reference to speaking to him on the phone. I found that very amusing. Anyway, hello, folks. My name is Noah Tarnow. I'm the founder and the senior quizmaster of The Big Quiz Thing, the trivia game show Spectacular. Welcome to the show, friends. And today's topic, how did you stumble upon this, Bill?
Like most things, it was filtered to me by my wife, who is kind of like...
Oh, your wife knew about this.
She's a grazer. Yeah, she grazes things and somehow finds this weird shit.
Yeah.
And then judges it. She knows we're on the lookout. And so she feeds me things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. This one passed muster.
Well, that doesn't surprise me because this struck me as an extremely girly topic.
I think that's fair to say.
When I say girly, I'm sure it has some appeal to women, grown girls, but it still smacks of girliness. So any grown woman who engages with this definitely is embracing her youthful side. And frankly, I specifically looked up Lucky Scoops for men, and it was all pitched at very young boys. Anything that was the equivalent for men didn't have the scoop element to it.
Oh, I didn't see that at all. Now that makes sense.
I mean,
that. Right.
We're putting the cart before the horse here, but it was anything man focused in this realm skipped the scoop. It was, we'll send you a mystery box of fishing equipment. Yeah, but there was none of the scoop element.
It's jerky and it's like a high karate cologne. That's what's in a mailbox.
I saw a mystery box of knives, mystery box of fishing equipment. Here is an interesting one. We somehow got our hands on dozens and dozens unclaimed boxes from like a shipping warehouse. We'll send you one of these boxes. We have no idea what's inside for $30.
That sounds terrible.
What a stupid waste of money.
It could be like an ocelot inside the box. That sounds terrible.
That would be great. Anyway, at this point, if it's unclaimed stuff from a warehouse, it's a dead ocelot. So, Bill, do you know, what's his name? Salvador Dali had a pet ocelot.
I think I might. Yeah, it was almost like Bubastis. It was his.
A little. Yeah. But then I looked up. Apparently, ocelots are terrible pets to have. They're like owls. It seems like it would be cool, but they're just one disaster.
Much like everything, like keeping that mustache also looked very difficult. I think Dali did things the hard way, you know?
Yeah, Dali was an OG. Anyway, we're definitely getting ahead of ourselves. Bill, explain to our listeners, because I had never heard of this before, what is this internet phenomenon referred to as Lucky Scoops?
Oh my God. Well, yeah, I was going to say Lucky Strikes, Noah. It's a cigarette that my grandfather used to smoke back in the day.
Yes. And that kept Sterling Cooper in business for a long time.
A Lucky Scoop. I will endeavor to explain this the best I can. You told me that the outlay that I put was even. You needed to do some research before it was clear for you on your end. Hopefully.
Well, you sent me a video that I found confusing. I hated that video because I thought she said I'm going to explain it and she didn't explain it. That pissed me off. But I found another video that I thought did a good job with it.
And they were equally judgmental. I watched both videos. Yeah. Anyway, so yes. Lucky Scoop is a mystery shopping experience wherein beads, I believe, is the sort of shorthand. It's like essentially beads are scooped randomly via a cup, for instance. And I saw one that looked like the sort of spinning lottery cage was used in another, which dispensed almost like they would pick the local. Yeah, bingo. Right, that's better. Right. And they would spit out of the bottom of the cage, and they would roll into a little trench, and they would pick up these numbers. And anyway, so the thing is, each bead or ball or sphere or item is essentially using a combination of colors or numbers or both, represents an item category. The seller, the person who is doing this lottery, you might say, selects the corresponding item from the customer from a trove nearby. Now, these are all done. What we're talking about is a video. This is an experience. So you're buying something, but there's a video component to it wherein you're watching somebody assemble at random. You buy 6 bees or six balls.
6 scoops.
Scoops.
You buy the scoops.
That's true. You buy the scoops.
And the scoop, they scoop from this big bowl of beads.
Yes.
And if you get a red bead, then they fish out the beads. Yes. And if you get a red bead, that corresponds as a chart to, some little kawaii Hello Kitty piece of shit. So the red bead is pens, and the yellow bead is jewelry boxes, and the purple bead is a stuffed toy. Yeah. And then you watch the person. Sorry, I'm stepping in because your explanation was terrible, Bill. You're watching the person assemble your gift box that they send to you. But here's the problem. Well, I'll get to it, Bill. I have a major problem with this. But that's the basic outline. Is there anything in your estimation I left out?
Well, let's say because the beads are randomly scooped, it's a chance. So every lucky scoop order has the potential to be completely different. Although, as we've seen, sometimes that's not exactly the case.
Right.
And like you said, most lucky scoop sellers, the vendors, focus on cute brands like Sanrio, Hello Kitty, Disney, and things of that like. There are
also some makeup lucky scoops, like the red bead you get 3 lip glosses.
And also like there's some luxury, like sometimes it'll be an Yves Saint Laurent bag, and like there's strange high end stuff. It's also very weird. And so
that's when the lucky scoops people paying like $600 for it.
Yes, that's then we get into luxury and get a different stratosphere. So yes, the process is recorded. You're part of the purchase price is you're buying the exhibition of the video. The videos are being put on.
Not always. Some of those people upsell for the video.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. You pay an extra amount if you want to see the video.
Yeah, and it's a substantial price too. And sometimes you get the impression that people almost are paying for the video, maybe more so than the items themselves. So the end result is a lottery box filled with plushies, keychains, soap, stickers, jewelry, stationery, accessories, etc. And
things in our society that's known as crap.
Right, and it's like this is the thing. I feel like it's impossible to not sort of like bundle this stuff as Shein and Temu post-consumer.
A lot of it is Shein and Temu and Alibaba.
Yeah. Yep. So
Flotsam and Jetsam.
A lot of these videos are blasted on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Apparently, TikTok, like based on the video you sent me, has like banned these things, and yet they're still like you can
consider them TikTok. Gambling.
It was very strange.
Why is that the one thing TikTok, cracks down on? TikTok is destroying humanity, but they'll crack down on TikTok on lucky scoops.
TikTok hasn't cracked down on fucking anything because right now our friends, Kevin Marr and Nick Nadell, are being robbed by people who are stealing their YouTube content, chopping it up on YouTube. They've made a channel, and they cannot get the TikTok channel taken down.
Oh, fucking A. So what are people just taking pieces and just adding them to their videos?
They're chopping up their Atomic Abe TV distillations into 2-minute long, and they built channels essentially just grazing Kevin's stuff and making money off of it. And
so what happens when they complain to YouTube? YouTube just ignores them?
No, it's not YouTube. It's TikTok. Like it's off of YouTube.
There's no method of grievance with TikTok.
You have to. I have personally, just as a third person, I have submitted a copyright claim to TikTok for each individual video I found.
Can I do that too? Because that really pisses me off.
But it hasn't done anything. They're not paying attention. They don't care.
Fucking assholes.
Anyway, so like you could say TikTok is cracking down on one thing. They're not cracking down on anything. It's the Wild West. There's no copyright. None of it matters. Anyway, that's not the point. So the thing is, these videos on, like there's plenty on you. You don't even have to go to TikTok. There's plenty on YouTube. They have millions of views in some cases. It's a strange experience that people, even without buying the boxes, people are sort of getting a secondhand high from watching them being built via this kind of arcane Baroque process. Noah, please take it from here. Tell me what you made of Lucky Scoop.
Do you remember when we were kids and sometimes you go to the newsstand or some store and they'd have, so we were both comic book geeks as kids. We're still comic book geeks. And they would have those little 3 or 4 packs of comics wrapped in cellophane.
Yeah.
And, you buy it and it was kind of fun. Like, you don't know what you're going to get, right? There's comics in the middle that you can't see from the outer packaging. And it could be something really random. And that's how I had an issue of the Cull miniseries, right? Like you could get something really random and it was kind of exciting. Like, I never know what I'm going to get. It's a bit of an adventure. I
thought Wacky Packs was the same.
Wacky Packs, similar. You never know where you're going to get. The mystery. Oh, I loved Wacky Packs. Those things were so good. I just last month or earlier this month when I was in New York, I went to Forbidden Planet, the great comic store Forbidden Planet. And they were selling big packets, completely opaque, of like random grab bag of comics. And I never buy comic books anymore, but I'm like, ooh, how fun. That could be cool. You never know where you're going to get. You might discover something amazing. You might get a piece of crap, but still it's the adventure of getting a piece of crap. It's like, why not? Like, that's kind of a fun gimmick. I like that. So, but here's a problem I have with this and something you didn't mention. For a lot of these sellers, and these are like Etsy people, drop shipping people, just these people who sell crap online. So some of it's Disney and the Kawaii and the Hello Kitty stuff, but a lot of it is like
homemade Etsy level stuff. But a lot of the people who take these orders are asking people their preferences. Like, I like these brands. I don't like these brands. I like these colors. I don't like these colors. So that really cuts down on the randomness, right? It seems to be taking away the fun of it. On top of that, I find this process to just be weird. Like the video or the people watching the videos of other people's orders. Like, it makes sense to me if it were more simple. If it were, hey, here's a video of all the crap in my closet that I'm selling. Give me $30 and you will get a surprise box of crap. Or maybe even give me $30 and give me your preferences and you'll give me like that would make sense.
I bet that exists somewhere. That's a good idea.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
But the scoop thing just adds this really bizarre kind of mannered mechanism that really strikes me like a lot of topics on the show. Like it's just something random that caught on and I want to do this because other people want to do this. And like, why do I want to watch the video of it happening? I don't understand the thrill of that at all. Then, as I indicated before, people who sell crap, this is just another example in our society, especially on social media, of junk. Like of junk. We are buried in junk in this country. I've probably mentioned on this show before, I used to love the holiday of Halloween. And then for a while, I turned against Halloween because I'm like, it's just, we're drowning in garbage. And it's not candy. I have no problem with candy. Or not much of a problem with candy. But like the decorations, just the garbage people buy for this holiday just makes me sad and pathetic. It's bad for the environment and it's bad for our souls and it's a waste of money. Who needs dozens of keychains? And by the way, all the voices on these videos are AI. So I watched one that pronounced it as cocaines. Keychains are cocaines. Who needs 12 things of lip gloss? I'm kind of anti-makeup anyway. Who needs 4 jewelry boxes? Then, of course, the fact that, yes, there is the homemade Etsy stuff, but a lot of it isn't. A lot of it isn't very creative. It's these already trademarked brands. It's Hello Kitty. It's Labubu. I saw a whole thing like a Lucky Scoop. Everything had the ghost face character on it. By the way, there are some Lucky Scoops intended for boys. Most of it is girly, but some for boys. But a lot of that is just, junky toys for an 8-year-old boy. And as I indicated before, I looked up specifically trying to find Lucky Scoops for men. I couldn't find anything with the scoop element, but it was, I'll give you a random box of knives. I'll give you a random box of fishing equipment. I'll give you this box that was left over from an Amazon warehouse or whatever. This is just very weird. Another element you didn't mention is, I believe part of the intended appeal of some of these videos is they have an ASMR element. The sound of scooping up the beads, of sorting the beads.
It's very mannered. I think that's fair to say, yes.
You see these women's heavily manicured hands and it's sped up that certain way. And, combined with the AI voice, there's an eeriness to it that I definitely see pushing some of the ASMR buttons that we got from still our most downloaded episode ever, right, Bill? When we talked about ASMR.
It's up there.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's up there.
The woman eating the pickle. I didn't really get ASMR then beyond a very surface level. And I certainly don't get this. So it's not the worst thing we looked at, but I got to give this a thumbs down.
It took me a couple of explainer videos to kind of understand what I was looking at. I mean, I get what I'm seeing, but I sort of didn't put the pieces together. I kind of didn't understand who was selling and who was buying and what the purpose of it was and what you were getting for your money and the whole trend. The procedure was a little baroque. I mean, I can't relate to it. I understand what's happening, but this is not the way I would want to get stuff. And people are paying, in some cases, a lot of fucking money, a shit ton of money for what is, a random drop on camera of like what look to be cheap pink goods,
I mean, is it really a shit ton? It's like $30 for a box, right?
Some of them are, but then you have the potential to spend a lot. Like I watched some of these other roundups on, like these two, there was the two that we watched. A bunch of people are very critical. They were, and mostly it had to do with the fact that they saw the wagering aspect, the people were probably in over their skis in terms of how much money they were spending.
I didn't see a lot of criticism, but maybe.
Yeah, the criticism was based on the fact that it's really easy to get people to gamble. And it's like, especially if you're a tough nut to crack, if you're a hard person, like say you don't like craps, say you don't like the horse tracks, say you don't like, William Hill bets, but it's like, perhaps this is your form. Like you could become addicted to gambling a little bit based on this shape of probability. It's like, then maybe this can get hooks into you. If you like, you're not like, poker is not your thing, but perhaps this is. It's a very arcane way.
Shopping addiction is a major issue.
Fucking shithole. Yeah, exactly. So the thing is, the video aspect of this thing blows it up into a bigger phenomenon, and I say, bigger's got scare quotes because, again, neither of us ever heard of this, but apparently it is in a lane very popular where it is. We're just meeting it now. So the thing I still have a giant question mark around, I can't get a toehold on who the sellers are, because they're not characters in their own videos. That's what's very unusual about this, because I understand.
You think they'd be selling their own brands with these? That's
influencing influencers are here to influence people, and that's not what this is necessarily. It's strange because what we're seeing is people with these strange press-on candy acrylic nails, and there's no voice.
What nails like that? That must just make life. How do you type? How do you wipe your butt? It's just, why do we want nails like that?
Because they peel on, they peel off very easily. That's why they're essentially removable. But the thing is, it's like, that's the look of it. And again, yes, you know what? I also go to assume the fact the AI videos, to me, indicate that most of these people are probably from the Pacific Rim, or they're non-native English speakers, and they're using AI to come up with very cute chirps for essentially what's on the screen. It's a standardizing form. And there's a lot of there's a YouTube channel right now that does cross sections of the Starship Enterprise, right? Or the Star Destroyer from Star Wars. And,
like a tour of the ship kind of
yes, thing? using schematic, like a guy goes to the trouble.
Sounds kind of fun.
It is. However, it's like the voice is AI because he's Filipino. And it's like the thing is, he doesn't want to put his Tagalog accent in English. So what he uses is an AI middle American accent. It sticks out to me that he's using an AI thing, but it's like, that's his. He wants a bigger channel, and he realizes, I'll get more viewers by putting a very bog standard American accent. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But again, it had to do with the fact that these girls are faceless, they're voiceless. It's just a set of hands choosing beads and dispensing prize packs. It's very strange. Then it turns out that there are many such websites which advertise this service. So in terms of, it's like, well, are these just sole proprietors inside of a rec room? Do they have like a craft table? Some of them do, like with these bins that they essentially slide out and pull out Hello Kitty key fobs and stuff like that. And then it's like, but some of these must be like industrial strength operations. It's like there's a couple of these in Holland here that I saw where it looks like it's like probably a fulfillment center, not some girl in her second bedroom doing this. It looks like it is a more professional aspect. The website was done up in great, Web 2.0 e-commerce stuff. The design was pretty good. It was called, what is it called? It was called Lucky Scoop by Melisandre. And that was the service. And it's like, I don't even know if there is a person named Melisandre, but the branding made it seem like, like that was a thing. This is all very strange.
And people were going crazy for these fun little gambling purchases. You have no idea what you're going to get in your scoop, but you can pay for one and watch it happen on TikTok Live. These small businesses then use this like scooping and order packing content and live streams as marketing to get more orders, and people just love to see their orders being packed.
It's clear neither of us get this one. This is an episode where the topic lives up to the title of the show, right?
Yeah, that does not happen very often, but yes, you're right.
We usually get it to some extent because we're open-minded. We are open-minded. By the way, if you're new to our show, one of the annoying things is often when we promote episodes and we say, I don't get it. And if it's a topic that like people really love, people won't listen. They'll just go, how do you not get Ted Lasso? And we're like, just listen to the episode, please, will you? But this is one we don't get. So since we are, we have the ultimately finest, most reasoned, most intelligent opinions in every topic conceivable. If we don't get it, why in God's name is it popular?
The hottest of takes, you might say. Well,
it's not that our takes are hot. It's that our takes are correct.
They're reasoned takes. So
reasoned, intelligent, lucid, well thought out objection.
I wrote my notes a bunch of times. This phrase pops up, dope a hit, and it's like, I think that there's so much, like a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Kalshi, Poly Market, the casino economy, where it's like people are being incentivized to gamble and wager. And it's like, it's fucking so much shit up that oil futures are like, before they announced that the Strait of Hormuz is going to close, people ditched the oil. I mean, and then
people with connections to the felons administration, yeah,
exactly. But it's like,
but don't worry, wearing a tan suit, that's really
that's it's
really a violation of presidential decorum.
So the fact that the DOPA hit of getting stuff, that's why I feel like even more seminal to this argument than the bucket of bullshit you get at the end, the actual stuff that you're probably not going to look at ever again. Bucket of bullshit. It's the DOPA hit you're getting from the video aspect. I think that's kind of the cart, the Rene Descartes that leads the horse, as you said before, Noah.
The Rene Descartes that leads the Rene Des horse.
Yeah. So it's like like you're kind of aware of the general broad category of what type of junk you will get, but the specificity is always up to Lady Fate. The fickle finger of Lady Fate. When we covered Temu, was it 4 years back, 3 years back?
Temu? No, like 1 year back.
That was more than 1 year, believe me.
I'm looking up Temu now. All right, here you go. I got it here. May 25th, 2024. So less than 2 years.
That's okay. There you go. So the thing is, I could not presage or predict that it and Shein would prosper in the marketplace the way they did, and that it would sort of.
How could you not predict that?
No. That it would intersect with something that we would do later. That it would kind of recombine in a strange
that
way.
Was easy to predict.
I don't know, but I don't look to me for the future. But it's like
that's for sure.
The proliferation of Lucky Scoops goes hand in hand with the easy access to cheaply made consumer effluent, scattering. Go ahead, say it with me. More microplastics into our waters, Noah, and
into our testicles,
into our scrotums. Exactly, yes. That's the word I have in my notes. Well, our testicles in particular. If you're female, not so much.
Our testicle. I mean, God, at this point, the outside of my testicles is made of plastic. I don't even know what that means.
It looks like the Phantom of the Opera's mask. It's like half on the side of your scrotum and the other half. Hey, why is it popular?
Boy.
Why do you find
the older I get, the more my chandelier drops. Heyo! Don't even get it. No, you're 100% right. We are the junk society. That's the Halloween thing. Halloween, which started as creative costumes and candy, now is just buying more plastic vomit that floats in from Taiwan and, dressing your child up in it and then throwing it into a landfill somewhere and decorating your house with garbage. Again, it's not just the junk. It's the fact that the junk crowds out the creativity. We are no longer making our own costume. We're buying cheap plastic costumes. We're no longer making our own decorations. We're buying cheap plastic decorations. This even filters down to the quality of the stuff. It is no longer, a girl in her house in rural Massachusetts making stuff and selling it on Etsy. It's the Filipino girl buying Hello Kitty crap owned by a giant corporation and reselling it. Who owns Sanrio? Is Sanrio its own company, or is that brand owned by a bigger company?
I bet you it's vertical somewhere in Japan. I have no doubt about that. Yeah,
but like Sanrio hasn't been bought by Disney or anything, right?
No, I think it's still post-consumer in Tokyo, probably somewhere.
Okay. But Hello Kitty, man. When I was a kid, Hello Kitty was like only the weird Chinese girl had Hello Kitty stuff, and now it's everywhere. All right, so yeah, we're the junk society. And it is never more it is never more likely that a society will embrace junk than when times are dark. And times are dark now. I think we all agree on that. So when things are hard, people retreat into their comfort space. And for a lot of Americans, comfort is the easy pleasure of owning things, of owning crap. I mean, it's really demented when you step back and think that shopping addiction is even a thing. Like, how sad is that? But it's like being addicted to food or gambling. When you're feeling stressed or when you're feeling hopeless, you retreat into these dopamine hits of buying garbage. I'm very proud of myself that as I've gotten older, I like owning things less. Yes, occasionally I still buy some garbage. Bill, did I show you this? I bought the Mr. Terrific
Mr.
Superpowers
Terrific.
action figure.
Yes, that's very, very cool.
I'm very proud of this. I love Mr. Terrific. I will add this to my small collection of DC Comics superheroes that I have on shelves here, action figures. That is one of my concessions to this. So yes, I'm not immune to this at all. So we are a society of junk. I will also say that, and I referred to this before, this feels the weird cockamamie method of you buy 2 scoops, they scoop out the beads correspond to this, the seller selects the thing, keeping in mind your preferences. Then there's the video of it. It is such like a Rube Goldberg kind of thing that it just feels like something that randomly caught on. One person designed it, pulled the idea out of their ass, and it became popular because one person watched a video, and another person watched a video, and another person made a video, and that's how the internet worked. Virality. I will also say this. In one of the videos, someone said that part of the selling point is that it turns the shopping process into an experience. You're not just saying, here's $30, give me a box of stuff. It's the experience of watching the video of the scoop and picking it out and the corresponding thing, that and that. But really, the selling point is turning the shopping into experience. Shopping as an experience is going to the fucking store. That's why, I don't know about you, man, but I still often much prefer to go to the store than buy online because it's the experience. If I need, all right, here's an example. I need a new PA system, right? Portable PA system that I use for my business. I occasionally buy one. I could find one online, sure. But I like going to Best Buy and physically looking at all the ones in there, or maybe asking questions and comparing them, and maybe even having a chance to try some out. That is turning shopping to an experience. It's not just a practical thing, how I get the best PA. It's also just, I don't know, maybe I enjoy the process. I like going to the supermarket. I like seeing what's available. I like looking at packages. Sometimes, not always. So, why it turns shopping to an experience? Okay. But maybe that's a little sad that people don't view going to the store as an experience. The experience is entirely via video and social media.
Package a super bigger order, 200 scoops. This is Carice's order. She said, Kuromi and cinnamon roll is her mom's favorite.
Would you have liked it as a kid?
I mean, I wasn't crazy about those little 3-packs of comics, but the randomness element was kind of appealing. And I did look for lucky scoops that were aimed at men and boys. I found a company called Bro Lucky Scoops. What a terrible name.
Way to first pass name. Way to go with that
Right.
marketing coup.
Well, but also like but bro indicates something, but it was for little boys. It was for like 8-year-olds. It was like little toys that an 8-year-old boy would like. And
it was all Rizzler based stuff.
Maybe. And look, I look at that crap, and again, more plastic garbage. When I was 8, I would have loved that stuff. I would have loved the renderers. By the way, I can totally see me like seeing this video at 8 and going, Dad, I want this. I want the randomness of it. That guy going, what a waste of money. Why? Like you might get all sorts of, when are you going to play with this stuff? Often I asked for crap and my dad would say things like that. Although that being said, my parents bought me plenty of crap as a kid. I really can't complain about that. And then, as a man now, I gotta be honest, the idea, I don't want knives. I don't want fishing equipment. Have you ever gone fishing, Bill?
No, I have not. Not even
Really?
one time. No.
I went a couple times when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed it. I should do
Oh,
that
yeah?
again. I literally haven't even thought about doing it.
I did not expect you to
25
say
years.
that about fishing. Very strange. Okay.
It was kind of cool. I mean, first of all, you're on a boat, you're relaxing. I mean, so much of fishing is the not doing it, but then the fish comes up. It's kind of exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, I should go fishing again. Anyway, if any listeners want to take me fishing, I would love to hear from you.
You do need a listener with a boat. That is true.
Right. But anyway, but at this point, I don't want the mystery box of fishing equipment. The unclaimed packages, look, I wouldn't spend $30 on a random box of something unclaimed because who knows what kind of trash I could get. But I don't know. I mean, if they were giving them away, I'd take one, right? Like the mystery, surprise, randomness element, I don't know. It pushes some kind of button in me. I do kind of like that. I was mildly tempted to buy the big 10-pack of comic books from Forbidden Planet. So, yeah, this is not... would I embrace with this? Maybe.
Yeah, the comic thing is part of our core competency. I mean, at the end of this, I circle back to my core competency at the end of this. Likewise, because I believe that there is a buy-in. However, it's like the Sanrio, Hello Kitty focus of it, the whole thingness of that seems to be.
Oh yeah, I don't want the kawaii shit.
Well, I know, and it's like I didn't do as much poking as you did, or at least the poking I did really just was in a well, I just
hey, how do you think my scrotum got to look like the Phantom of the Opera?
So the thing is,
jokes don't make sense. People don't get upset.
I'm a stage character. Save your sympathy.
Yeah, I'm a stage character. Save your sympathy.
So the whole thing seems like a constant in terms of the aesthetic, and from that aesthetic, I recoil generally. Each box must absolutely reek of like perfumed plastic. You remember the way? What were those things? The squishies. The
squishies that made give me a stomach ache.
Yeah, I have no doubt. Like, it is true when I've gone into a store in New York that has had Hello Kitty things or Sanrio things, there is a certain perfume that goes along with it. Maybe it's the shopping experience, the point of purchase. I don't know. The thing is, it's like there's so much cute quirk packed inside these things, and it's like, and I've never wanted a single bit of these things in my youth. Now, again, I'll kind of confirm what you're saying. If you had a filled gunny sack that was rife with Cobra Commanders, Destros, Battle Android Troopers, it's like, what, man?
Wow.
You might have a deal.
Right. So, Bill, here's one. There's a lucky scoop. We are going to give you a big box of, get this, vintage G.I. Joe toys.
Boxed or on card? Like with the blister?
No, loose. So they can fit in a big box. So here's the thing. I have a giant bin of old G.I. Joe stuff, right. Action figures, accessories, etc. Anything that was sold under the G.I. Joe banner in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
They're not carded, but they're in good shape. For $100, you get a random selection. Do you buy it?
No, I don't. And this goes to my whole thing about not collecting now. Like it's kind of like you said.
I would do that for Superpowers DC Comics action figures.
Right. There's one narrow lane.
Although those things are worth a lot more than that.
Generally, yeah, that's the thing. But it's like I am kind of like an anti-collecting. It's just for me, it's mode right now. I don't need to pick up stuff just simply because I don't want to carry stuff around with me in life. I just don't need to own more things, and so. But if I was a kid, maybe I would have split the difference if it had Destro in the box. Him and his silver face would have been pretty cool.
1. Only 9 bags. Mini mirror.
Is the rise of the lucky scoop, the scooping of luckiness, a sign of the apocalypse?
You may be my lucky scoop, as Madonna once sang.
Look, as Madonna once sang. Yes.
I buy shit I don't need. I'm not, like I talked about being anti-collecting right now. I seem to have a big supply of Cobra Commander figures. It still has happened regardless.
Wait, so how many Cobra Commander figures do you have now?
I think I have about 9 or so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, people send me them. Like this is a go-to if somebody is bopping by a shop somewhere. Yeah, my friend in Los Angeles, Becky. That's
never occurred to me, Bill. I just sent you that big battleship thing.
No, it was the F-14 Tomcat.
F-14 Tomcat. That's right, but I didn't. I will now look for Cobra Commander figures.
It's okay, but I have plenty. But it's like, so I have way more plastic than I want to, than I've set out to. I'm doing it anyway in spite of it. Here's the thing: I don't graze the marketplaces for more of it, and especially shit like pens and notebooks and squishies and shit I'll never use. Giant masses, these stacks of post-consumer waste, which is just, let's just brass tacks it. It's stuff that would be a problem for my kids and grandkids as they death clean my crowded apartment after I die of a stroke at the age of 71, cold and alone, spurned by my spouse, a divorced man.
My sister and I have already talked. This coming week when we go down to Arizona, spend Passover with our parents, we're going to have a talk with them about let's start getting rid of some of your
death cleaning. Yeah, let's start death cleaning.
A lot of stuff and they ain't getting younger. Yeah.
So we're looking at petroleum products right now, just actual, not petroleum, like the byproducts of the petrochemical industry are being choked off in the Strait of Hormuz right now. The base element of all this plastic junk, and it's like somehow we still think it's like a great idea to double down on demanding they make more of it by encouraging people who wouldn't normally do this to go buy wholesale amounts of this shit from Shein and Temu. I mean, it just seems like the fucking wrong time and the wrong place for this shit right now on top of it. So it does kind of look a little bit like an apocalypse to me.
Yeah, for those reasons, for sure. More junk, more wasted money, more gambling. Look, things are hard in America now. Things are way too expensive. A lot of it, we don't need to get too much into the whys. I think you know why we think why, and this is, and you probably can guess our opinion. I am sympathetic to people because people need to eat, and they need shelter, and they need medical care. But I also sometimes get upset about people complaining and then still spending money on garbage. Like, oh, gas is too expensive, but they'll still go out and waste money on things that I think are absolute crap. Also, to some extent, this encourages gambling, which I think is very unhealthy.
In no uncertain terms, it absolutely does.
Right.
This is a wagering market.
I'm a hypocrite. When I was in Vegas, I played some blackjack, but I think gambling is fine, but it can really spin out of control. And as I said in our casino economy episode, we are encouraging people to embrace it more and more, which is really dangerous.
To be fair, when you were in Vegas, you also did pay money to hunt a man on a game reserve as well.
That's right. Yes. Which was totally worth it because, it was good. Look,
that's an experience. That's an experience.
It was good exercise for him, and it, improved my hand-eye coordination. So win-win, right? Yes. More AI slop. That ship is sailing very quickly, but the last thing we need is more 3 cocaines. We don't need this garbage. And going back to our topic of gender reveal parties many years ago, the fact that this is so gendered, that this is so, whatever. I guess it's for little kids and that's fine. But I'm watching these videos like 2 scoops for Danielle. And I'm like, what is Danielle's boyfriend? What is he spending his money on? And just imagining their relationship and like, do these two have anything to talk about?
He's spending his money on fucking, what is it, Wager Kings? What's the shit on your phone?
Exactly. And it's just, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm
DraftKings, right? I forget what the fucking thing
I feel like we're in a world now where like men and women more and more just have nothing to talk about and hate each other. Not in my world.
That's just
2/3 of my friends are female, but like I feel like we're moving in that direction. So this just enforces the gender divide, which is just, I think, going to really unhealthy places.
And I fear that overconsumption might be winning again because this Lucky Scoop situation trend that's going extremely viral on TikTok and on social media really speaks to the fact that a lot of people really do feel like as long as you have a lot of things, that it's going to satisfy you.
You know what? We're going to bring this thing to a close with our final 2 rubrics here. So tell me about jealousy. Before we get to our scale, how did this... I can't imagine that this inspired...
No, not at all. Come on. I don't want any of this garbage. I don't want to make these videos. I don't want to watch these videos. I didn't even really want to buy the mystery comic bag. So, yeah, come on. What is there to be jealous of?
Yeah, I was willfully ignorant before we started this jag of research. I will go back to being ignorant, and I'm happy about that. As soon as we becalm our microphones, I'll never think of it again. And more to the point, perhaps I can unknow what this is as soon as possible and get back to my life. So... no jealousy, and then Noah, where would you rank this thing? Where's it get racked in our schema?
All right, so this one felt pretty obvious. A lot of this junk is probably from Temu, but if not, it's similar to the Temu garbage. So I said 1/12 of Temu times 7/8 of TSA tray aesthetic, right? Videos and photos online of a mannered and forced and probably temporary thing that just caught on because it caught on and doesn't seem natural in any way, plus 32.18141. So once again, it's 1/12 of Temu times 7/8 of TSA tray aesthetic plus 32.18141.
And speaking of Descartes, those are Cartesian coordinates as well.
Those are very Cartesian.
Brings it into the theme of this thing. Yeah, so
extremely Cartesian. Cartesian to the extrusion.
To the extrusion. Topic is very depressing, but it's not... Actually, I'm not sure this is true anymore from when I wrote this. It's not really hurting anyone other than the suckers who are PayPaling their hard-earned dosh as this world burns. But that's not true, because if it's plastic, it's killing us all. It's like, how upset can I get with it all? Well, I don't know. I guess we've done a pretty good job. I think in the casino economy, in specific, the Kalshi and Poly market bets, and I guess if you bolt on Temu and Shein, although we talked about Temu and not Shein, they're kind of, two obverse sides of the same coin in this case. It's like you're breaking people's brains through recklessness in spending and dopa hits of probability. And yeah, so that definitely puts it in the lower quartile of the things we've talked about.
All right, that's it.
Is it? Is that really it? We don't have to do this anymore? We're finished?
That's it for society. That's it for the world. Wrap it up, my friend.
That's a wrap. Okay, everybody. If you want to find past episodes, look on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Soundcloud, Google Play. Ski to us at noandbillshow.bsky.social. Write to us, noandbilldon'tgetit@gmail.com. Give us a review on the aggregators. On the social in particular, you'll find me at billscurry.bsky.social and at William Scurry on Insta and Twitter Talk. All these things. And youtube.com/AMZs, where you'll find the video aspect of this. And upcoming this week will be the release of an essay I did for our friends at Atomic Abe. Speaking of which, the fleeced and laundered Atomic Abe, I did my favorite episode of the A-Team. So if you're looking, I believe it's going to be
really?
It's going to be released on Wednesday on YouTube.
And it's awesome. I can't wait.
Pretty good. Okay, 18 minutes of erotic bliss for the listener and the viewer.
In college, some friends and I, including listener Aaron Grunfeld, designed an A-Team drinking game. And the only element I remember is that you need to drink Well, no, I remember a few others, but the best one was you need to drink constantly while they're building something.
Okay, I could see that could really schnocker you pretty quickly.
Yeah, pretty good. All right, I'm all about the Big Quiz Thing. BigQuizThing.com. Learn about America's premier provider of corporate and private live trivia events nationwide, worldwide. Busy spring for us. I'm headed to Colorado at the end of this month for my first ever event in Colorado Springs. We're doing our first event in Wisconsin soon. We had a lot of fun. The public event in New York I did. And, we might be having a few other public events coming down the pike, but we are mainly about corporate and private experiences, corporate team building, fundraisers, private events, you name it. So go to bigquizthing.com, learn all about it, get a custom proposal, and learn how to bring the finest in trivia magic to your event.
All right, everybody. So until the next episode, we talk about the TikTok phenomenon of watching other people play five-finger fillet with a steak knife.
We don't get it.
A production of American Caesar Enterprises 2026.